That looks better.
I think now it's working.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we were mute.
We were probably mute. That's good practice.
Okay. Okay. Just let's take it easy. Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe we had no sound, so just in case everything what I said is useless, basically. Yeah. Well, I just say that I'm doing UV unwrap for the Grenade launcher, and I will just progress from where I left. Okay, let's see. Okay, what I was saying before is for this part, the handle back. I'm using, let's see, I'm just splitting the model in different shells. Initially, I could just leave the model in just one, just single cut, so it's completely open. But I prefer just to break the model a little bit more, and this is what I made in 3D Code at the moment. It's completely broken. Or so yeah, I think that I already applied everything before the interruption. Yeah, it's we have the result here in the UV preview on the right. Sorry. So what I do is export the model with this information and overwrite. Okay, hold on. Back. Overwrite the handle back with this new model. And what I'll do is going back to Maya. It's the same process like the half ball that we made previously. I will delete this. We'll delete this handle and import the new one. Let's see. Sorry, it's in data, obj, weapons, Grenade launcher, low, and we have rest handleback. So now we have these UVs that are completely correctly unwrapped. We have, if we did not have any sound, I will repeat this. By default, there is a material applied that we will not use because when we export from 3D Code to Maya, automatically creates a material with information given from the other app. So what we will do here is just change this material that it's created right now is this one. We will replace it by one of the commons that we are using. In this case, we will use the lonely material. That is the one that I'm using for everything, basically, and delete unused nodes, so we can get rid of that material. Yes, easy. So at the moment, we have this and this models, as we can see, because if we did not have any sound, everything what I said was useless. So we can see that those models have UV islands that occupies all the entire UV space. This is quite normal. At the moment I'm just unwrapping the model, so I don't care about the layout. the layout is something that will come at the end of the process when everything is completely unwrapped. So yeah, this is I think this process helps me out with when I'm playing with normal maps and everything. I like to see if everything looks correct and things like that, so I don't have to care. I don't like to care about the final layout because it's just a post. Uh, it's something that comes later. So yeah, what I'll do is follow this. We have an example in here in case we did not have any sound. For the back part, the grip of the model, we can see that we already have UVs in here, and we have we have a normal map. You can see what I do is for those parts that I have normal map, I make something like this. As I said, I don't care about layout. I just unwrap, put it on an entire UV space, and then when I need to make the layout, I have the original model, the final model with the new UVs in the correct layout, and using XNormal is something we will use later. I transfer from one model to the other. It's an easy way to transfer some different information like normal map or color map or any other kind of texture maps. Okay, so let's move to the next piece. Let's make one exciting one like this one. Okay, this is the current UV because it was based from a cube. So in fact, this will not be a bad UV because this is originally a primitive from Maya. It's a cube, so Maya unwraps the cube correctly with the faces and everything in this layout or this kind of unwrap. But I want to check it out anyway inside 3D Code because this cube has some weighted normal technique applied just to give those bevels and things like that. So everything has to look right, but I just like to have everything, everything correct. So what I do is I export the same thing, and this comes the very awkward moment about the naming. What I do here is this is something like small cube. We have, I think we have different small cubes, 1, 2, 3 maybe, and this. So 01, 02, 03. We can use this name convention for this. Okay. Small cube 01. Low. So we go to new UV map mesh and log normals, and I'm going to keep UV because I want to, as I said, I want to check this out and see how it looks. Okay, anyway, as we can see, the original model was a little bit modified, so obviously 3D Code is telling me that there is some bad UV thing because of the original editing that we made. So what I'll do is just unwrap it, but I don't like this. I could leave it like this, but I will just break things a little bit more. Maybe see. Okay. Okay, this part. We select this, we can highlight, let the model a little bit. So what I want to do is just break this part, and I want to leave this like this. Maybe, let me, okay. This is not a bad one, but I don't like this. I will just test something. Just wanted to try something, nothing else. Okay, so what I'll do is, yeah, okay, I like this one. It's fine to me. So what I'll do is apply UV set and export everything. So we go to the small cube 01 low. We get rid of the original one, we don't need it anymore, so we use the new one. So the new one, we have the current UVs, and we will use the non-D material. We'll get rid of the white one, and let's clean this up. Center pivot, history just in case, and small cube 01 low. Okay, there is another one. On the back. Okay. This is because the L1 that puts me here is because maybe it's inside a group. Okay, let me see. There is a lot of things here that we will clean up. So these are old cameras from the other scene, from the pistol. This transform, I think, is nothing. A transform, nothing. This group is nothing. So yeah, I will just clean this. It's not extremely necessary at the moment because everything will be combined at the end. But it's important to be organized, and you know, it's important. We have a NURBS here that we use for making those cylinders, so we can just get rid of this. This is the entire group, current group. Okay, there is something. Okay, anyway, I'll just leave it like this. Maybe this is the name of the material. Okay, listen. So we'll move to the next one. What I'll try to do is I'm going from back to front. I will cover all the trigger area at the moment. And when I finish this, I'll go to the top of the gun and we'll finish with the hammer. So that's the idea. It's going from back to front, something just organized, and that's it. So this part, let's see. Beautiful. Okay, we will do the same. We will just, in this case, everything has hard edges, so we are using smoothing groups for everything. In this case, we have some hard edges for in here and other soft edges in here. So there is a mix of both. So what we will do is just export this selection and change the name and say this is similar to the name I used for the piston. It's, of course, this is not anything to do with real life. Trigger frame. So we just export this and same process. We will see what we see here is this is a process that it's over and over. So trigger frame, lock normal is important because of the smoothing groups and everything. So we will just auto mapping. I don't care about resolution at this stage, so it says it's 2K, but we will finish with a 4K. I mean, we are not exporting any real map from 3D code, it's just the model unwrap, so it is not necessary to specify any kind of resolution. So, but yeah. Okay, what I'll do is clear sims. We have this model now, so we start breaking parts. What I will do is I will just divide this with this, and I will open, as we can see, the original model, it's not unwrapped, so we need to open this, so we just break from here, and okay, this is one of the things that we can avoid. So if everything went fine, everything should have to be unfold now, but we have this phase, so we go back to Maya and need to fix this. So everything is frozen, transformations, so just put this back. We have here that it's correctly delete, but we have to delete this phase, so, and just put it back. Then we export the selection, we use the trigger frame, sounds like a movie. Let's see, and then what we do is we re-import everything, log normals, not keeping UVs, and auto mapping. I don't care about resolution, as I said, it doesn't matter. So let's clear the sims, and now we can make the same process, and this will be different. So we just break this part, and now when we break here, okay, there are some more issues. This is because there is another thing here. Okay, so now we have this part unwrap. This is correctly unwrap. So we will break this model. It's a very small model, so we could make some kind of automatic unwrapping, and that's it. But anyway, I think it's okay to just spend some time making things right. So what I'll do is, in just a rapid view, I can see that this model is made of 3 different parts because we can see the different tangency. So I just, in my mind, I just break in 3 different parts in the UV. So 3 different islands. So what I'll do is, in this case, was then I can break it from here, and then here, and then here. Yeah. So this will be 1, 2, and 3. When we unwrap this, we get the 3 pieces that we we already set to 3D code to divide the model in 3 different islands. So we just apply this UV set and export everything. Trigger frame. We're using the trigger frame. So the old trigger frame is gone. We import the new one, and we already have the default white material we are not using. We will use a lonely material. Don't ask about that. Anyway, you can ask any question you have in the chat. I have the Twitch window in the other screen, so feel free to ask and speak and everything. My English is not very good, so but I'll make all my effort to be clear and try to say things as correct as I can. I promise. So yeah, so we have the material applied to this piece. Now we can just check the UV editor, so we can see the 3 pieces correctly unwrap. So we can move on to another one. In this case, we can go to the trigger directly. Let's see the beautiful trigger we have. It's beautiful. Okay. We export this one. Sorry. Let me just change the name. It's L1 this. Okay, I think it's because I have to have a look at this, but pretty sure that it's because, okay. So let's export this, and we will say trigger L, low. Okay, we export selection, and we go to 3D code, don't save, UV map mesh, trigger, log normals, important, auto mapping. There it is, auto mapping. Anyway, I use auto mapping, but I always end up cleaning just with the clear sim, so everything is clean and beautiful. So let's divide this. There is another thing in this piece that we can maybe optimize from Maya. As we can see, the trigger in this case, it's partially hidden in the model that it has above, so we can just lower this, and then we can just delete those faces, but we really don't need this, so we can just get rid of this. It's important to have freeze transformations in here, because if not, we will not know exactly what's the offset we use unless we specify, but it's much easier just to zero everything out, and we have the model in place, you don't have to worry about those things. Okay, so now that we fix that, we can re-export the trigger row. New, unsave, UV map, mesh, trigger, log normals, auto mapping, and clear sims. And this will be a very easy cut. First of all, what I'll do is I'm going to separate this part. I'm going to break in here, and maybe what we can do, let me see, sometimes I don't want to break everything, so just try to see if I can do something like this, so I can have just a single piece in one place, but it's not, we have to tweak a little bit this. Okay. Can always break some more. For example, but I think for this one I will make this separately. Let me try this one. So yeah, oh, I like this idea. Maybe this could work. Yeah. So we can see I just divide in two different shells, but try to maintain the bottom part in one single shell. So is it necessary? No. It's okay. It depends on how you want to do it. Again, this is a very small part. We could just try to make an auto mapping, and that will work because in Substance we just apply the metallic material and that's it. This is a very small piece. But anyway, it's good to know the process. That's the reason we are streaming, so let's do it then. So we have unwrap. We can apply this one. I think it's the checker looks right, looks correct, looks nice, everything is fine. We have a couple of islands. We can keep that, so we apply UVSAT and we export the model back to Maya. This is the trigger, and we just delete this trigger and we import the new one. Okay. Yeah, so we can see the model in here, so it's correct. What we will do is the same as before. We will delete this white material. We will apply the material we have for everything and delete the white one and save, because Maya tends to crash sometimes, and maybe it could happen in this stream, so just let's be prepared for that. So okay, at the moment we have different UVs. We have different models unwrap. We can see. Okay. So now we will finish with this. We will try to make it a little bit faster, so we can just finish with those cubes and the lower trigger part. Well, the trigger part, so not the lower. But okay, let's go for this one. This will be something similar to this one. Of course, it's a different model. I could transfer. If it has the same number of polygons and everything, triangles, I could try the transfer maps, but I prefer not to do that. This is easy and fast, so what we will do is just unwrap like a small cube. We put one number, so this is the number 2. We will use this small cube, number 2, log normals, and auto mapping. There it is. Let's just unwrap and see how it looks. Looks ugly. So what I'll do is obviously clear the seams. Edge loop. Let's break this a little bit more. Okay. This is not bad. we can use. This one is quite similar to the first small cube, so we can use. I think we can use this one. Let's just see the checker is correct. Yeah, there is some small. This is a bit of distortion here, but yeah, we will just change this 1 second so that we can fix this distortion. It's much better now. So let's apply. I think this is a little bit more divide than the other one, but it's okay. As I said, this is another of the small parts. Very, very small part. So it's fine as it is. He can delete. Okay. We can just. Yeah. I will make a change because this one is partially hidden with this other piece. What I do is now I have this frozen. We can just make the same that we made before. So in this case, we can just delete these faces. These faces. Okay. Let's export this again, just in case. This will be something fast. So new, don't save. In this case, we want to keep UVs. So log normals, keep UVs, and that is it. Let's unwrap again. Everything is unwrap, apply, and export. Export the small cube number 2. Now we are going to clean this up a little bit, and we can see that there is no face. Let's apply the material. Let's delete the other materials, and that's it. And here is the map. Okay. Before this one, I will make the cube number 3.
Yeah, replace
We could use automatic mapping in Maya for this.
Yeah, so once
But-
so you reckon once I've finished, I'm still gonna
But as I am very in love with 3D Code, I will use 3D Code. So yeah, let's make it fast anyway. So this is the small cube number 3. But hold on, we can make the same. We can just delete this face. We can just then re-export cube number 3. So new one, don't save, UV map mesh, cube number 3, log normals, aura mapping. Let's see.
So you reckon this guy anyway?
This one, we will break this bottom part and this. Okay. So yeah, yeah, this is fine. So it's okay. Apply. There are more options, obviously, in here that I don't usually. I sometimes I use it. I used to make layouts inside 3D Code, so I use more options. But normally, if I have to tweak something and anything, I use the Maya editor directly. So I just can focus on doing this on 3D Code and nothing else. So that's it. Okay, cube number 3.
Yeah.
We delete this cube, we import the new
What
cube,
I've done is I've actually removed 3D Zombies no longer in the Zonda map.
same material,
Because it's built off male generic
we would
zombie
use the
one.
lonely one and delete the old one. Save.
Yeah, we should actually. But I've effectively put them out of Zonda map. And
Well,
now there's
let's
just
send a
one
pivot.
actual, sorry.
Uh-huh. I didn't center this one. Okay.
One, which is the first mesh, which will actually have
So
the
we
same-
already have this one. We go to
This one actually
this other one.
Like,
Well, yeah, that's
He's got number
This
three.
is
Yeah.
okay. This is another one with strange names that we can use. So and we can clean this up a little bit. I think it's frozen, so we can just delete this. Okay, delete. That's it. This is one of the pieces we use weighted vertex normals. As we can see, the shading, it's nice. So what I'll do is now exporting selection. I'll use like bottom, yeah, bottom L shape. Something like that will work to me. Okay, so don't save UV map and we look for the bottom L shape. Log normals, auto mapping. Okay. So for example, let's clean everything. So what I'll do for this one is divide one face to the other and break it maybe from here.
Thank you very much. Daniel, by the way.
Oh no, much better. Yeah, let's break this one.
So if we
And no, sorry.
Okay,
Okay, we can see this will be the result for the upper one. We could break this. No, sorry, not here. We could break.
So if you go back to the core log,
we should delete that one.
No, I like this. I like how it's a very small part. It's not necessary to be overwhelmed with
yeah,
a lot of twigs and things like that. It's not quite necessary, so straightforward. Okay, just let me try. Nah, okay, it's much better this one. We can break these.
no, sorry, used by your
Maybe a good decision will be breaking this part, something like this. Then we have this L shape. Let's see. This is the bottom. We could try to make something like this.
Yeah, so basically we should be able to delete that.
And this one. This could work, but there is some overlapping.
Plus two-way references.
So yeah, I will just break this. And this is a very large shell.
You might want
And sincerely, I think I prefer to break this because this is the typical thing about when you start thinking with the layout. Shapes like this that can occupy a big chunk of space. Maybe it's better to just break it by half, things like that. Because in this kind of piece, we don't need to put any kind of text or something that we will need UV space just for the text or for something specific that we could add in Photoshop instead of Substance. But it's much better, I think, it's much better to break everything up. So we can just try by here. So And then
That's the
just leave this phase alone, maybe, and then we break it from here. And then we leave this alone, and we have everything is more broken now, but I think it's better from my point of view. We can try to put this. Let's see if it looks right. It looks a little bit distorted. It will work because the checker is fine. There are just small issues in here that we could avoid completely because the size of this thing is something like this in the real model. So, and this part of here is even smaller. So, and in VR you are not able to focus your sight in anything because there is no, you cannot do that with the optics. So we could just leave it this way, or we just break it up and leave it. But this will fix the issue with this. So yeah, I will just, this is like an automatic mapping. So we can just leave this and apply and send it back to Maya. And this is the L shape, bottom L shape. Okay. Just delete the original one. Now we have the bottom L shape. We change the material, delete that one. We just center pivot. Everything is, these transformations are okay, and just but in case delete everything. So now we have this. So this will finish, sorry, the trigger area. So we can move up. And before going to the hammer, I will just unwrap these two. So yeah, this is basically, when it was made, this is basically a duplicate of this one. And yeah, something like that. Those three pieces are very similar. I think this, I can't remember, this is the original, and then I made this, and this is the last one. I remember this because this was something that I had at the end. Because initially this piece was occupying all this space, but I just wanted to give some real separation between in that space. So the only way to do it was to make two different meshes instead of just one and using normal map. So I just wanted to separate the mesh. So I had enough room for the triangle. So these small changes sometimes make the contrast go higher, and you know, humans, we really like contrast, and our mind tends to separate those things and see the overall picture. When higher the contrast is, better for the human eye. So yeah, that's what sometimes we try to aim, is even in meshes, trying to make this high contrast, not only in colors when texturing or in other kind of texture maps, but in models as well. So yeah, let's go and let's make those two. I will stop here because I want to do those two and go to the upper part. So yeah. This will be funny with the names again. There's those names that you don't know exactly what name to put in here. So first of all, let me see. This is the current UV. It's like 3D UV thing. So yeah, let's export this and let's name it maybe
be a room.
cylinder frame.
Shoot some stuff. Just so you can test it out. You probably find
Uh,
the male zombies.
I
yeah,
will ask
isn't quite perfect,
maybe
so I've
for
got to
help
constraint
from
on
one
the elbows.
if anyone has a name for
It
this,
should be
so
close. Oh,
I'm not
it's
the
still
only
working.
one embarrassed for this. Lincoln,
Yeah.
what name will you use for this part?
Rocky. It's kind of the back of the.
Yeah, it's the
Is it just that one piece of geometry?
yeah. There are like two pretty similar in here. So
I guess the front one would be the barrel. Back of the barrel.
back of the barrel and front of the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I don't know. You call it barrel one,
yeah.
barrel two, barrel three.
Yeah, that's what I made in some of those pieces. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's there might be like a proper technically correct term that gun makers use, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
back of the chamber,
yeah, for example.
because like a normal rifle, there's problems with like because the bullets are
Mhm.
high capacity and high speed. You know, you can make a barrel explode,
Mhm.
and it's more of a problem. But for this thing, the projectiles are super low velocity, and
Yeah.
they haven't got a very big explosive charge when they fire. It's effectively like firing tennis balls, really, isn't it?
Yeah, more or less. Yes.
So I don't think in that case that the chamber are made of high strength metal or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I will
Yeah.
use maybe what you said at the beginning, barrel back. Or
Maybe
one.
yeah, something like that. You could call it barrel. Is there more segments to the front? I mean, you could call it barrel back one,
Yeah.
barrel back two, and barrel back three. And that way, at the front, you might have barrel front one and barrel front two.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Tricky
Yeah,
one.
something like that. I just maybe if you knew the technical term for this part
Yeah.
of the gun.
Or you could call that one Gary.
Gary.
That one
Joe.
Joe.
Exactly. It's okay. So we will use the back barrel or one, something similar to the small parts we made at the bottom. As you can see, this is a very important step in development.
I was waiting the next level.
Barrel
To be the boss level.
Yeah, I'll try this
Barrel
one.
back. One, because we will make two. So barrel one. Yeah, that's it.
Also check, does it look like it's spawning all of these?
This is going to be a very
I just added them
difficult
back into the automatic.
model to remember some of those names or to know exactly. Luckily, they don't use any normal maps, so I don't have to project maps because I need to know exactly the names of each one. So this will not be a very big problem, but
Definitely spawning the new generics.
okay, barrel back,
That'll be my next thing. Make sure that all got the right animation.
lock normals, auto mapping, and
Oh, hello.
let's clear sims and okay.
Are you trying
This
to
is a
do
bigger
the
part,
upshot
so
where
this
you
is
set
more
them
visible in the
or
model.
upwards?
That's
It launches them off the floor.
A good idea will be just to have, it doesn't matter how many islands we create, but it has to be consistent. I mean, checkers have to look right so we don't get any kind of
There might be a random
peak
one
or
stuck behind the pillar.
bad distortion in
Hello.
the UV. But anyway, my idea
Yeah, I know.
will be just break,
Colours right in front of you,
You
the
can
one-
always
because
try
as I
to-
said, this doesn't need to have any kind of text
Good.
on top or any kind of texture, so we can just break this up
Let's look at different guns,
and see.
different throwbacks as well.
Oh,
I really
happened?
like those pistols.
it's
In my
interesting.
mind, they're
Power of them.
practically can have a
This is
sight
like
of
invert. Oh, let's see.
Um,
Yeah, this is new. Okay. You. Let's make here an automatic mapping first of all and see. What's the name? Barrel back. Look, normal skip view is, let's see. Okay. There's something odd in here. I don't know if maybe because this is a very big angle, as we can see. This should not have to be an issue because when the shading is correct in static meshes, you can have as angles as big as you want. They will not interfere in your model because when you export to Unreal, they are triangulated. So I don't think this is the issue. So this is interesting. It's like something. As I'm not sure what's going on, what I'll do is I will export this part. Let's see the barrel back 2, and let's use this one. Barrel back number 2. And auto mapping, we will use the same thing. Let's see. Ooh, yeah, there are problems with these faces. This is Neo. I'm going to try something just to make sure this is what it's happening. Okay, let's try. Number 1. Log normals, skip UVs, it's okay. So, okay, let's unwrap. Okay, the problem is this big angle. That's strange. Okay. Let me fill hole. I will try with this face, just recently add a new complete face maintaining the angle and see if this is happening the same or it make it better. Okay, let's put some loops here and wrap. Okay. This is new. It is completely new. Okay, let me see. No. Okay. Then we will have to make it old school, maybe. What I'll try is maybe let me try something to know exactly that the angle is the problem.
Oh, I'm just going to do a good update now. I've got all of those, they're all sorted now, pretty much. Just update it now. But yeah, I guess
Anyway,
depends whether you want to pull it down.
it looks like
or
the
if you
angle
want
could be
same
one of
to
the
make
issues,
few
but
changes and I can just mod here.
even triangulating the surface. Oh, okay, let's see. There are no hard edges, so let's unlock normals. This could be an issue not with the n-gons, but maybe with the weighted normals correction that we made for the shading. Let's see. Don't lock normals. Auto mapping. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. I'm going to break this face a little bit and see if, just because the weighted normals is not the issue, what I'll do is just break. Maybe it's because this n-gon is very big, but it's weird because it works fine if you do it in Maya. It's something more related to 3D code. I'll just break the face a little bit more and see if this will fix the issue. Okay, 10 units. Barrel back. Okay. That's interesting. Okay, looks like it never happened to me. This is the first time I encountered this, so it has been some kind of live issue. But it looks like the problem is that 3D code is not very happy with big n-gons. That could be the issue, not the weight and normal information. So yeah, these subdivisions helped 3D code to calculate the island, so it's fine to me. I'll make some more tests and see if this is exactly what's going on. What I'll do is divide these faces because I want to isolate these faces. The idea is to make two big islands with faces in one side. I hate when I have the same colors. Okay. Okay, at least I have now this. Okay. What I did is just I want to have two different islands for the front parts, the front and back part, and the rest will be broken into several pieces to just not occupy too much space of the UV layout. So let's unwrap this now. It's unwrapping fine, so it's okay. Oh, that's something new. That did not happen to me because the crossbow. I remember the crossbow had a very big end-on and did not have any kind of issue. But maybe it was more subdivided than this one. That could be. Okay, nice to know. Anyway, just for the record, if you plan to make the UVs in Maya did not give any kind of issue. So it's something like more software related, not something that you can't do. Okay, it's just keeping that in mind is always a good thing. Okay, let's save this. What I know is, let's remember that we have 10 units up. So because when I delete this and put this one, okay, yeah, this is normal. What I'll try is a quick smooth. No, sorry. Let's unlock the normals and make a quick smooth. Fill only material. Okay. Because I thought that maybe the locked normals was the issue. So, but that was not the issue with this. So let me go back 1 second. I can back. Okay. Fantastic. To the old school. Let's just unlock. Just check something. Okay. Soft. Okay, so here is the thing as it was. So yeah, now remember that it was 10 units, so we put it in this correct spot and center pivot and freeze transformations in here and delete all history junk. So that's it. So let's see if it's correct. So as we can see, now we see this correctly. Okay, it's 7 minutes before lunch. Let's see if we can finish this part, and we will speed things up later so that we can finish those UVs as fast as possible, so and move to the layout and finish the layout for today's stream. So yeah, but what I'll do is I will put 10 units as before, and I will break, because this was happening the same, so I will just break the model a little bit as I made before. So yeah, we can do just some, we don't need to break it too much. Something similar to what we made previously.
I was trying to see if everyone's CG was live streaming and he was playing video. But next up, audio.
No, I think it's just a video and it's
Okay. So now we just put it back in place. Let's send this. This is the barrel back number 2.
The mute button on his keyboard doesn't seem to work.
Let's log normals now. and auto mapping. Okay, now it should have to go right. Okay, I will not clear everything because this is a little bit pain to select. So what I'll do is just break this because I would like to break it from here maybe,
It was a combination of keys.
and here. It's quite similar, but I just wanted to break it in a more logical sense. When you have a harder edge here, then break it from here instead of the one at his side. So I prefer to make something like this. Okay, so this, let's apply this one and export. Export bar back number 2. Yes. And what we can do, anyway, I will import, but yes, there is one face that it's not visible, so we can clean this up. We can clean this up. Let me change the material because this material gives you eye strain. Okay, so the idea is just delete this and giving back to place. Just center pivot and save, because I thought it was about to Maya to crash. So back number 2. Open it, number 2, lock, keep UVs, and let's unwrap this, and that's it. So now we have this open face and apply. Barrel back number 2. Delete this one. Barrel back here. Okay, change material, delete the old one, and center pivot. And check UVs. It's correct, like this one. So yeah. Anyway, we don't have to worry about the size. Everything will be correctly sized when we arrive to layout inside Maya. So now sizes are completely absolute for each piece, not relative to the other pieces. So yeah, that will finish the back. I think, well, we need the hammer and these parts, but this will be easy. This will be done later. And okay, we have 58. We have time for this one, so wrap fast. So okay, we need to fix. First of all, let's put it 10. Let's delete this face and let's cut this angle a little bit. I think this will make the trick. Let's see. Let's delete history before export anything. And let's export selection number 3. No, it's new. UV map mesh number 3. Log normals. Auto mapping. Yes. Out. out. No, this is right. Let's see. I will put it here and here. Let's unwrap fine. Yeah. Okay, there is this that we have to break. Just fix this to avoid that thing. Okay. Ooh. Okay, it's smallish here. No, this one. Yeah. And that's it. So we apply and we export the number 3. So we delete this one, we import the new one, we center pivot, we change material, we delete the old one, and we check UVs are correct. Okay, fantastic. So that's it. We have all this correct with correct UVs. We'll keep working on the hammer later to finish this part, and we will move to this frame, and we will make the frame and the rest of this barrel. We will make cylinders are already unwrapped, so this is already done, this is done, and this is done, so these 3 parts are already made. So we will move to the frame, and we will move to the canister and pipes. Not this part because it is already made as well, but this and this, those 2. So that's it for now. I'll go to have something for lunch and see you later.